Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to break down the fight between Muslim Salikhov and Kenan Song that takes place this weekend at UFC Fight Night Macau, China. Leaning towards Muslim Salikhov. Do have my concerns in this fight with him going up against Kenan Song. Muslim Salikhov, tons of power in the hands, very dynamic kicks, very extensive background in striking, 185 wins in kickboxing prior to starting his MMA career. From Dagestan, Russia, so he's got wrestling. He's shown it in the past when he needs to, but he primarily relies on his striking. Has shown to be a little bit chinny as of late. Was knocked out by Randy Brown back in February. Before that, was knocked out by Jing Liang Li back in 2022. Rotates wins and losses. Was on a hell of a streak back in the day against good competition, but lost to Lee. Knocked out Fialho, lost a competitive decision to Nicholas Dalby, and recently coming off of a split decision win over Santiago Ponzinibbio, which is a legit win. So that gives me faith that he's still able to compete at the age of 40. Kenan Song, another guy, kind of a 50-50 fighter. He's beat some guys, but it seems like he struggles when he's fighting. I wouldn't even say top tier, just legit technical, good strikers. I feel like he struggles with. Lost to Alex Morono back when Alex Morono was doing his thing about 6 years ago. Knocked out by Max Griffin. Knocked out by Ian Machado Garry, but he did hurt Garry. He got beat up a lot of that fight, and I'll get to that. But he did drop Ian Machado Garry. So he does have power. We know that he can crack if he needs to. Lost to Kevin Doucette. And then beat Ricky Glenn. That was a telling win for me because Ricky Glenn, he's kind of a chubby welterweight. Should be fighting at lightweight. Used to fight at lightweight. Kind of the thing that we see. Gets towards the end of his career, doesn't want to cut weight anymore. Moves up to 170. I think if you're going to be anything at welterweight, you got to be beating up an old man Ricky Glenn who moves up to welterweight. He did beat him up for the most part, but I would expect Salikhov to be putting Ricky Glenn out at 170. So I know Kenan Song has power, but it's just concerning when I see how much he's hitting Ricky Glenn and still not getting the finish. Like I said, Muslim Salikhov, great power, throws great wheel kicks, hook kicks, spinning back kicks, great leg kicks. I think he's going to chew up Kenan Song's leg. He does not check kicks very well. We saw that in the Doucette fight. We saw his leg get swelled up by Ian Machado Garry. I think that's going to be one of the primary weapons that Salikhov uses in this fight. I think he's going to come out quick. He's going to be threatening with punches. He's going to be throwing leg kicks. He might even shoot a takedown just to get Song Kenan thinking. But I just think Muslim Salikhov, I just feel like he's the heavier hitter. He is the older guy, but he's shown in his last fight that he can still compete with the top level guys. Song, I feel like Salikhov's going to get out in front of him early. And Song Kenan, whenever he starts to get touched up a little bit, he seems to kind of hesitate and wait and just kind of lets the fight get away from him. He never seems to really bite down on his mouthpiece and get respect and get back into it. So I think that Salikhov's going to get his respect early. And Song Kenan just not be able to come back after that. I don't think we're going to have to worry about grappling in this. I don't think either of them are really going to be focusing on shooting takedowns. I do think Salikhov is the better wrestler. I think that he can shoot takedowns if he needs to. Like I said, he is from Dagestan. Those guys know how to wrestle, even though he does focus on his striking. But in terms of size, these guys are fairly the same size. Song Kenang's an inch taller, 6 foot, 71-inch reach. Salikhov is 5'11", 70-inch reach, so no major differences there. In terms of cardio, Song Kenan seems to be able to, go a decent pace. He's not pushing a crazy pace, but Salikhov makes me worried. He did seem to kind of struggle in a few of his fights. The Li Jianlang fight, he started to kind of fade in the second round, which is a little bit concerning, but I think the pace that him and Song are going to put on in this fight, I'm not really worried about that. I don't think it's going to be a crazy fast pace back and forth war. I don't think there's going to be a lot of shots and sprawling. to defend takedowns. I think it's going to be primarily a striking engagement where both of these guys are going to be able to, keep up a decent pace and not gas out. Song did get dropped. He did get dropped by Ricky Glenn, which is concerning. And that was only in his last fight. So, judging off of the last performance, I just think Salikhov is the better striker. I think he's going to have more weapons. Song Kenan throws a few leg kicks, but he doesn't check any of them. And out of that, he's using the hands. That's about all that he's, offering out there. So, shown to be a little bit chinny, like I said. Got knocked out, pretty much knocked down and finished by a jab by Max Griffin. So I just think Salikhov's going to be able to find the button. I think he's going to beat him up for 3 rounds or put him away by knockout. So Salikhov, 40 years old, he's going to have... I think he's going to have the experience on this guy. They both have fairly decent records. Kenan Song, 22-8. Muslim Salikhov, he's 20-5. So good records on both of these guys. I just think that Salikhov's the more reliable fighter in a stand-up engagement. He did lose to Randy Brown, but Randy Brown's just he's a weight bully at 170. He's 6'3". He needs to move up to 185. Stop killing yourself to come down and fight smaller guys. And did really well against Nicholas Dalby, who we know he's on a run right now. What's he at? He is just lost to Renat Fakhratinov, which isn't that bad of a loss, but before that, he was on a 4-fight win streak. So yeah, he's got a good record. No shame in his losses as of late, and I trust him to get the win in this one against Song Kenan. Thanks, guys.